Hey everyone, Rob here from Gunfather Milsim, and today I'm bringing you another discussion on real steel. Hey, this is a cool gun from the depths of my gun locker. This is my Arsenal SAM7K SBR. Obviously, this is an AK. I'm a huge fan of AKs, big AK guy. Shooting AR-15s, M4s, M16s, whatever, has always been like work to me. Recreational shooting, I like shooting other stuff that's not work related, so I like shooting AKs. I've owned 3 different AKs. I'm down to just this one now. This is the only one I have left. Definitely want to buy one in the future, a different AK, probably an AK-105, something like that. But right now, this is the only AK I own. It's got a long story to it. This is an Arsenal SAM7K. Now it's an SBR because I did the paperwork to have a short barrel converted to short barrel rifle. So this is an NFA rifle. But when it started, it was a pistol because it had a pistol brace, so it's technically a pistol. I purchased this, and I think in 2013 it cost me $1,250. Now they cost north of $1,600 because of inflation. I've put a lot of time and money into this gun, getting it where I want it to be, which is here. It's got a 10.5-inch barrel. From the factory, it had a fake booster on it. It looked like a real booster, a real flash suppressor, but when you fired it, like a 6-foot ball of flame would come off the front of this weapon. So I had to convert it over to the real booster. This one's from Bulgaria. It's a 4-piece booster. It's basically a flash hider. My gunsmith installed this for me. He charged me a lot. He said if he ever did it again, he would charge a lot more, so much so that people would be dissuaded from bringing him the project because he doesn't ever want to do it again. But he did do a great job. This turned it from a 6-foot ball of flame to like 2 little sparks coming out of there. This is the same booster that Russian special forces use, or a lot of them use. It's authentic. I like it. Looks great. Let's see, from front to back, I'll tell you about all the crap I've done on this gun. This is a Midwest Industries rail. It's M-LOK. Came in black. I actually had to paint this and bake it on tan. Got the paint from Brownells. Alumahide paint, if I recall correctly. Had to switch out the dust cover. The factory dust cover was, the rear sight was back here. Okay, so I had to switch it out. So, because I wanted this optic on it. The optic is an Aimpoint T1. It's lightweight, holds 0, great optic. The rail mount is a RS Regulate AK rail mount. I can't say enough good things about RS Regulate. It's a great company. Kind of cool the way they do their stuff here. Easy on, easy off. It stays real close to the rifle. There's not a lot of crap hanging off the side of the rifle here, so it's real slim profile. They also have different mounts for the actual optics. So you buy one rail mount and you can buy like 3 or 4 different optics mounts, and so you can switch out different optics. I can't say enough the good things. RS Regulate is the shit. It's the only way to run a mount on your AK. In fact, my Airsoft AK also runs an RS Regulate mount because I just can't bring myself to use anything else. So that's the mount that I use on this weapon. Additionally, on this rifle, I upgraded the safety to a Krebs safety, okay, which means that it's got this little ridge here so I can manipulate it with my index finger. Traditional AKs don't really have that. You find it on a lot of guns now, and it also gives you the ability, there's a notch in it so I can lock the bolt back. With a traditional safety, you can't do that. So it's got that notch. If I want to lock it back, I can. So installing this AR style stock was a bit of a nightmare. When I purchased this rifle, it came with a pistol brace stock, and I couldn't convert it over. So I don't even remember what part this is, but I had to purchase the part and modify this myself. Now, when you work on an AR and you're taking parts off and taking parts on, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you screw up, you just take stuff off that you screwed up and put new parts on. It's relatively cheap, and it's basically like Legos. AKs are different. AKs are often a one-shot deal, and if you screw it up, you broke it, and you can't fix it. This is a milled receiver, not a stamped one, and I had to drill 2 holes in the back of this receiver here so I could install this stock, and I had one shot to do it right. So I measured 4 times, drilled once, and fortunately I got it right the first time. Yes, theoretically I could have TIG weld that close and redo it, but it still would have been compromised. Luckily, got it right the first time, and now I got this cool AR stock on here. The only other thing I've upgraded on this weapon is I installed an ALG trigger. Now, AR triggers are kind of like a click. They're really nice. They're actually excellent. Most guns in the world, in my experience, don't have triggers nearly as nice. At least not, you know, assault rifles, carbines don't have triggers as nice as an AR. AK triggers are more like a clunk than a click. They're not that great at triggers, and even after upgrading to the ALG trigger, which is excellent, it's still not nearly as good as your standard AR trigger, but it is much better. It's much lighter. This is a very light trigger. So is this a great gun? Yeah, it's a great firing gun. Here's the problem. All in, what you're looking at here is about a $3,000 weapon, okay? It's a lot of money for how well it performs, and it does perform well, but it's $3,000 to get it to this point. Or you can purchase a, let's say, Aero Precision 300 Blackout pistol, another pistol that I own. That cost me about $800, and it outperforms this, okay? Just because it's just a better platform, it's a more accurate platform, but 300 Blackout is kind of a pain in the ass to find that ammunition, and it is very expensive. 7.62 by 39, relatively cheap. So all in, I kind of prefer this gun, and it's an AK. I like AKs, and I just, you know, I like this gun. So if you want to purchase a rifle here in the U.S., I would highly recommend your first rifle be an AR-15, just because they're so plentiful. It's America's rifle. If you wish to purchase something different, after you already own an AR-15, I would highly recommend you get yourself an AK, just because they're fun to shoot, they're great guns. It's just something different. I think every firearms enthusiast should own at least one AK, preferably chambered in 7.62 by 39. So if you want to purchase an AK, the brands I would recommend are obviously Arsenal Arms out of Bulgaria. I've owned 2 of them. They work great guns, real reliable. The other brand I would recommend is Zastava. Those are out of Serbia. Very good AKs. They actually use RPK receivers instead of traditional AK receivers, which means it's 1.5 millimeter is the thickness of the receiver on their stamp receiver. It just means it's more reliable, more durable. So they just make great guns. If you're going to go with the American AK, I would probably go with Palmetto State. I don't have any direct experience with them. I've just heard very good things about them. You can buy more expensive AKs than the ones I've listed, but those are the ones that I think are somewhat affordable, mid-range AKs. So that's all I got on this gun. So if you like my content, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys know how YouTube works. If you really like my content, you want to support my channel, purchase some merch. Go to unsavorytees.com. They handle all my merchandise. Go to that website, go to Unsavory Army, and under Unsavory Army, you'll see Gunfather Milsim. Go to that, click on it. There's a store. I sell patches, I sell slings, I sell t-shirts. For a limited time, there's a special that if you purchase a t-shirt or a sling, and when you get to checkout, just put in the coupon code FREEPATCH, and we'll throw in a free Gunfather Milsim patch. So that's all I got for pushing my brand. Thanks for watching.